Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be reading Ivy and Bean, Take the Case. This is by Annie Barrows. Yeah, and it's by, and also plus Sophie blackall. So as y'all could see, this is the title. So this is Ivy and Bean. Oops. So this is Ivy and Bean. And this is the back. It says, meet Ivy and Bean, two friends who never meant to like each other. So yeah. This is actually one of the New York's bestsellers, so these are really, really cool. So Ivy and Bean, we're going to read chapter 1. So this is Ivy and Bean Take the Case. So, yeah. All right, so let me see.
That's my homework.
Yeah, so now all right, can you take a sec?
Okay.
All right, so this is Ivy and Bean. Let's get started. So this is from my school's books, so I don't know if I will be able to finish it in time, so I'm going to read it as long as I could to save up time. So here is the inside, and then here are the other books you could get from Ivy and Bean. Comment down below if you have all of them. And here is the contents. You guys could go ahead and pause the video to read. And then, yeah. So this is chapter 1, Black and White and Tough All Over. So Bean wasn't allowed to watch television or music videos. Bean's mom said she could watch 2 movies a week, but they had to be movies where everyone was good. There couldn't be any bad words. Yeah, movies do have them. There wouldn't be any mean people. There couldn't be any smoking a cigarette or wearing tiny clothes. There were only about 10 movies that followed all these rules. Luckily, Bean liked all 10 of them. She watched them over and over. So here is Bean's mom watching with Bean on the sofa. There's a bunch of popcorn spilling on the ground. Bean's mom said 10 movies were plenty. She said kids Bean's age should be using their imaginations instead of watching TV. She said fresh air was more important than movies. And then what did she do? She made Bean watch a movie. It was her favorite movie, she said. Everyone should see at least once, she said. The movie was called Seven Falls, but it wasn't about waterfalls or the leaf falling kind of fall, which is what Bean had guessed. It was about a guy named Al Seven. Boy, was he tough. He was so tough he talked without moving his lips, and some of it was bad words. Ooh, that's what Al Seven looks like. He was also kind of mean. Everyone in the movie was kind of mean. Plus, they all smoked cigarettes. They didn't wear tiny clothes, but that was the only rule they didn't break. I can't believe you're letting me watch this, said Bean. Seven Falls is a classic, said Bean's mom. It's one of the greatest movies ever made. Don't be a stooge, said Al Steven to another guy. That was pretty mean, but Bean pretended not to notice because that was one of the greatest movies ever made. Al Seven was also in black and white, but Bean knew she wasn't supposed to imagine he was in color. What is it about dames? Asked Al Steven. Why did I keep on getting it wrong? Asked Al Seven, walking slowly down a rainy street. They break your heart, I guess, he answered himself. That was the end. Bean's mom let out a big happy sigh. Wasn't that amazing? Did you get it? Get what? Bean wasn't sure, but she nodded. I'm going to be just like Al Seven when I grow up. Her mother raised one eyebrow. You better not be. But then again, why do you wait? Thought Bean. She could start being like Al Seven now. She slumped over and put her feet on the coffee table. What I say we watch it again, pal, she said. Her mom raised both eyebrows. What I say is don't call me pal and take your feet off the table. That hadn't worked. Bean took her feet off the table. Dang, she said sadly. They break your heart. Her mom's eyebrows were almost inside her hair. Oh dear, she said. It took Bean a long time to go to sleep that night. She couldn't stop thinking about Al Seven and his black and white world. It didn't seem like the real world, the world on Pancake Court that Bean lived in. People in Al Seven's world were tough, and they didn't laugh very much. They didn't do normal stuff like go to the school and the grocery store. They walked down alleys and wore hats, but the most abnormal thing about Al Seven's world was about the mysteries. There were mysteries all over the place. Bean untwisted her pajamas and thought about that. A mystery was a question you couldn't find the answer to. In Al Seven's world, the mystery were things like who took Hester Jules or where was Sammy LaBarba on the night of May 12th. Bean didn't have any jewels, and she was sure as heck didn't know anyone named Sammy La Barba, but there were plenty of questions that she didn't have answers to. Millions of them. For instance, who thought money? Not even grown-ups knew the answer to that. So this is the picture of Bean sleeping in her bed, which she couldn't sleep. And I don't think I showed you this picture yet, but this is Bean leaning on the coffee table and being all cool like Al 7. Yeah. Question. So let me start from here. Knew the answer to that question, but Bean had other questions too. Like, what's inside the cement thing in the front yard? What's behind the tank's fence, and why do they lock it up? And what's the matter with the mailman? When she asked these questions, her parents usually said something like, "It's none of your business." That meant there was an answer, but they didn't want her to know. Bean smiled toughly at her dark ceiling. They didn't want her to know things, just like Sammy La Barba didn't want Al 7 to know where he was on the night of May 12th. But Al 7 had figured it out because he was a private investigator. Private investigators got to the bottom of mysteries. They solved them. They snuck around. They spied. They asked the hard questions. They sat in their cars and rubbed their faces until they came up with the answers. Then they walked down the alleys in the rain. That's what Bean was going to do. First thing tomorrow morning? None of your business, she muttered. Ha! So this is chapter 2, Private Investigator. So we're going to read this next time. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell for a free and special video in voice memos of I've been being take the case. Thank you for watching, everyone. Bye!